What's going on, Legends? Invades here, and today I'm bringing you my first Apex Legends video. The topic for this video is going to be beginner's guide / tips / things you need to know. So just a quick summary, Apex Legends, the new Battle Royale game that dropped earlier this week, is brought to you by Respawn Entertainment, the creators of Titanfall. So only a select few gaming influencers, I was not one of those select few unfortunately, knew about this game, but the general public had no idea Respawn was working on their own Battle Royale game. Part of me wants to say that was a genius marketing strategy, but it could easily backfire. I guess by not publicly announcing that you're working on a Battle Royale game, it keeps people from criticizing the game before releasing, or creating an overhyped situation all over social media, and then people begin to have high expectations and ultimately causes the game to flop because it does not live up to the hype. Over-marketing a game is never a good idea, but Respawn Entertainment played it perfectly by paying a select few streamers to play Apex Legends on the day it launched to create a huge social media hype, exposing the game to millions of players that eventually led Apex Legends in just 72 hours to have over 10 million unique users playing and over 1 million concurrent players, breaking records previously held by Fortnite and PUBG. And as of today, Apex is still the #1 game on Twitch.tv. So before we jump right into it, please help support my channel by leaving a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm enjoying Apex Legends a lot, so be sure to tune back in for future videos. So now let's get started. So the first thing you need to know is there are 8 characters known as Legends, and they all have unique abilities and ultimate moves. There are 4 different types of Legends. We have the Offensive Legend, which has the bullet icon next to their picture, the Defensive Legend that has the shield icon, the Support Legend that has the medic icon, and the 4th is Recon Legend. Right now, Bloodhound is the only character that has recon abilities, but I'm sure they'll release more as time goes on. As of right now, it's squads only, 20 teams. Each team consists of 3 players, so a total of 60 players on the map. You can't have more than one of a certain legend, so choose wisely. If you pick first, go ahead and choose whatever legend you want, but let's say you're the second or third to pick, and you see that both your teammates have offensive characters, then it may be best to choose a defensive character or a support character to increase your chances of being successful. It's also a good idea to pair certain legends to create combo moves. For example, Bangalore has smokes for an ability, and whenever you use smokes, you can have Bloodhound use his ultimate, which puts you into a hunting mode that increases your speed and highlights the enemy, and you can see right through the smoke. I'm sure as time goes on, people will come up with some crazy combinations and playstyles, so I highly suggest you base your choice depending on what your teammates choose. Once you're done picking, if you were the third to pick a legend, then you'll automatically become the jump master and you can choose where your team lands. Of course, if you're not a jump master, you can choose to jump whenever, but you'll be separated from your team and it'll be a lot harder to win. Unless you're an absolute beast, go ahead, but I don't recommend it. If you don't want to be the jump master because it's too much pressure, you can relinquish it before you jump and it'll give it to another person. Once you're making your way down and you know where you're going, make sure to break off from your group. You don't want everyone to land in the same house because there won't be enough loot for everyone. If you guys spread out a little bit, it increases your chance of getting more loot. Here's an image that outlines potential high, medium, and low loot locations. Stop the video and take a screenshot if you need it. You can also land on the ship, and it does have high tier loot, but it will be heavily contested, so you'll have to fight for it. Even if you do land on the ship and grab some good loot, you don't have to stay on there, just jump off. This leads to one of the most important things to know about Apex Legends, that there is no fall damage. You can jump off any building, roof, ship, or when you redeploy and you won't take any damage. I personally love this feature because who likes to die from fall damage, like honestly. There's no friendly fire as well. If your teammates are in the middle of a fight, you can throw grenades or call in a strike and you will not damage your teammates. So don't worry about accidentally killing your own teammates because you can't do it. Another useful tip that many people didn't know at the beginning is to hold your jump to climb buildings or roofs. You can almost climb anything in this game and sometimes you think it's out of reach, but simply holding down the jump button will make the character start to mantle. This can be very useful when running away from an enemy or positioning yourself in a better spot when fighting the enemy. Also, the sliding feature is so good in this game. You'll notice throughout the gameplay I'm constantly bunny hopping and sliding right after. You never want to walk in a straight line, and if you start getting shot, slide behind cover. You can also slide down hills that you'll go a lot faster than just simply walking down. Some additional moving tips such as running, guns weigh you down in this game, so if you ever get caught in the storm and need to run out as fast as possible, make sure you holster your weapon by holding triangle and you'll be able to run a lot faster. Some characters look bulkier than others, but I believe they all have the same sprint speed. But if you hold your gun, especially like an LMG, you'll run a lot slower than someone who isn't, so be sure to holster your weapon, but also be careful that you don't get caught out in the open without a weapon. So a unique feature that Apex Legends has that other Battle Royale games have not introduced is the ability to revive your teammates even if they are killed. So even if you're playing solo and you die, don't leave the game just yet, your teammates might be able to revive you if they recover your banner. You'll need to drop it at a respawn beacon, which are the green icons on the map. It takes some time, so make sure the coast is clear or drop some smoke on it when you're trying to bring back your fellow comrade. But keep in mind that whenever you're brought back to life, you won't have any loot, so you'll need to go find weapons and armor again. But I think this is an awesome feature because I hated being downed and then killed right after, especially at the beginning of the game. But now you can still come back. But remember, your teammates have 90 seconds to recover your banner, or else time will expire and you won't be able to be brought back into the battlefield. Another tip is when you're looting ammo and items, make sure you're only picking up things that you need. Backpacks in this game can get full really fast, and I know everyone has a tendency to just spam and pick up everything they see, but if both your guns require light ammo, then there's really no point in carrying heavy or energy ammo unless you're saving it for a special gun. Ammo does take room in your inventory. It's not like other Battle Royale games that the ammo just sticks with your gun, so you don't want to have too many rounds or you won't be able to pick up other items. This also applies to weapon attachments and medical supplies. There are certain attachments that are only used for certain guns, so if you pick up a certain attachment that it's only used for machine guns, but all you have is SMGs, you'll see a red circle that indicates that you can't use it and it's just going to take up more space in your inventory. Same thing goes for syringes and shields. Some of them can stack, and each syringe and shield gives you about 25 health unless you have a med kit or max shield that replenishes your full health or shield. But once you exceed that, it will start to take multiple spots in your inventory. And trust me, when you're in the middle of a fight and you're trying to pick up something and you can't because your inventory is full, it's really hard to get into your inventory and drop the right thing to pick up whatever you wanted. It takes so long that the enemy will most likely push you and you won't even get a chance to pick up that med kit or whatever you're trying to get. So just make sure you're aware of the things you're picking up and it'll help you in the long run. One of the best and most important features of this game is using ping to help your teammates. Don't underestimate the value of the ping. It's especially useful when you're playing with teammates that don't have a mic. You can pretty much ping and let them know anything, such as directing them to a certain spot. If you see ammo, guns, or armor, you can ping these items to let your teammates know. You can also ping multiple items at the same time. Even pinging an enemy is also very helpful. Sometimes pinging someone would be more helpful than actually calling out, because characters move fast in this game, so if you call out an enemy, they can potentially move to another spot before your teammates even have time to react. Now let's talk about legendary or golden armor and guns. Legendary or golden armor pieces have extra perks that make them unique and better than normal pieces. For instance, the legendary body shield gives you 100 shield damage and has a perk called Executioner. When using a finisher, it fully regenerates your shield. Legendary helmet has a fast charge, which reduces the tactical and ultimate recharge time. And the knockdown shield has a total of 750 damage that you can use to block someone that is shooting you when you are down. And something that most people don't know, it has the ability to self-resurrect yourself one time. It takes a lot longer than a normal revive, but if your enemy forgets about you, you can potentially revive yourself and catch them off guard. While we're on the topic of armor, let me quickly explain how it works. When you hit an enemy, numbers with a certain color are going to come out. When you hit an enemy and purple numbers start coming out, that means they have level 3 armor. If you hit an enemy and it has blue numbers, that means level 2 armor. If they have white numbers, that's level 1 armor. If you start hitting an enemy and all you see is red numbers, that means they have no armor and they are weak. There's also legendary weapons. I've only seen and used 2, which is the sniper and the shotgun, and I believe you can get those from care packages that drop randomly. And these weapons are strong, but they're very limited, so not many people will get these guns. So if you can get your hands on one, you'll definitely do a lot more damage than most guns in the game. So there's only 2 negative things about this game that I don't like, and one is that the melee takes way too long. It honestly punishes you for using it, and sometimes you accidentally melee in the middle of a fight, and you pretty much screwed yourself if the other guy is shooting. So you're better off shooting instead of just meleeing, but I'll admit, it's really satisfying when you kill someone by knocking them out. And the other thing I don't like is the size of the gun clips, for most of the guns at least. The majority have really small clips, and ammo is an issue at the beginning, and the time to kill is pretty high in this game, so it's not helpful that you have a gun with a really small clip. The only workaround is hopefully finding an extended mag, but you don't always get lucky. But honestly, I'm loving Apex Legends, and I would have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I believe this game runs very smooth on all platforms since day one. There wasn't any major issues at all with this game, and I know a lot of games have had issues with their Battle Royale games on certain platforms, but Respawn has always had very smooth running games. Also, one last quick tip for console players specifically. You can increase your field of view to 110 just like PC players. I've never played a first-person shooter on console that allows you to change your field of view, so that's a huge thing for console players. I'll show you the difference. The game is defaulted to be at 70 field of view, and if you increase it to 110, just look how much more you can see. It's crazy, and it gives you a feel of how PC players usually play. Full warning though, it does say if you increase it above 70 that your game can have potential performance issues, but honestly I haven't experienced any. So there you have it guys, please let me know what you think and give me any suggestions on what my second video should be about. I thought about making a video covering every single legend and their abilities, but we'll see. Be sure to show some love and support to the video, follow all my socials, the links will be in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.